Hi, uh, boys and girls. Today you're going to learn about some angles, rays, polygons, quadrilaterals, and if you're in class, you have a packet that you need to fill in the correct answers as this is going on. And then virtual class, you will have an assignment on Inventum. So hi there, I am here to help you shape up your knowledge of geometric shapes. I know you recognize my shape. I'm a circle. Today, though, I want to introduce you to some of my polygon friends. My polygon friends are all have two traits that I do not have. Would you care to guess the two traits I'm referring to? Polygons have straight sides and polygons have angles. Let's talk about angles. A ray is part of a line. Okay, we've talked about a line segment, we've talked about a line, and we've talked about array. And so this is an array. It has one endpoint and extends in one direction without ending. An endpoint is the point at the beginning of the ray. An angle is formed when two rays share the same endpoint. The shared endpoint of two rays is called the vertex. So now we're going to circle the angles in these polygons, all right? So here are the angles here in this triangle. So we have how many angles in this one? 3. And how many angles do we have in the other polygon? We have 8, okay? Angles are where it's meeting right here where the vertex are meeting, and it's kind of, they connect. It's what's the space in between there. All right, so we're going to circle the angles in these polygons. We have 7. And in this polygon, we have 4. A right angle is an angle that forms a square corner. Are the following angles right angles? No. The square does not fit in there, so that's not a right angle. Oh, perfectly there. So is this one a right angle? Yes. All right, let's look at the next one. No, it does not. So we only have one right angle on this slide. This angle is greater than a right angle. This angle is less than a right angle. Look at the angles formed by hands in each clock. Tell whether each angle is a right angle, less than a right angle, or greater than a right angle. So let's look at this blue one right here. It is less than. See that arc right there? Okay. What about this one? Is this less than, greater than, or a right angle? Greater than. And this one? Greater than. Good job. All right, let's look at the angles formed by the hands on each clock. Tell whether each one is a right angle, less than a right angle, or greater than. So is this one a right angle, less than, or greater than? It's less than. This middle clock right here, it is a right angle because you can fit a square right there. And the blue one is greater than. All right, so we're going to circle the polygon. Now remember that polygons are a flat shape. If you'll go back and watch the video that I have linked on here, it goes into detail about what a polygon is. It is a two-dimensional shape. It can lay flat down. It doesn't have any curved lines in it, and it must have sides and vertices, okay? So is this a closed shape? Yes, it is. Is it a plane shape where you can lay it flat down? That is correct. So would we circle this one? Okay. Now, oops, we got to look for the right angles in them. Sorry, my bad. So what you're looking for is the right angles. So we all know what these are all polygons. And what these polygons is, we're looking for the right angle. So you got a right angle here, right angle there, and then you have one right here. Now that you know all about angles, it's time to introduce you to my friends, the polygons. A polygon is a closed two-dimensional figure formed by three or more straight sides that do not cross each other. All right? Now, determine whether this shape is a polygon. Now, these are all the things that a polygon must have: a closed shape, two-dimensional, three or more straight sides, lines that don't cross. Is this closed? Yes. Is it two-dimensional? Yes. Does it have three or more straight lines? There's no straight lines in this one. So therefore, it is not a polygon. All right, let's look at this one. It is closed. It's not two-dimensional. That's 3D. Does it have three or more straight sides? It does. See those sides right there? And lines do not cross. But since it is two-dimensional, it is not a polygon. All right, so we're going to determine whether this shape is a polygon. Is it closed? Yes. Two-dimensional? Yes. Three or more straight sides? Yes. Lines do not cross. Therefore, it is a polygon. All right. Is this shape closed? Yes. Is it two-dimensional? Yes. Does it have three or more straight sides? Yes. Do the lines don't cross each other? See here, those lines are crossing each other right there. So therefore, it is not a polygon. All right, so is this a closed shape? Yes. Is it two-dimensional? Yes. Is that three or more straight sides? Correct. Lines do not cross. Correct. So this is a polygon. All right, so we got to determine whether this one is. Is it a closed shape? It isn't, so we can't check that box. Is it two-dimensional? Yes. Does it have three or more straight sides? Yes. Do the lines cross? They do not. So we can check that one off. But since it is not a closed shape, it is not a polygon. All right, so we got to determine if this one shape is a polygon. Is it closed? That it is. Is it two-dimensional? Yes. Does it have three or more straight sides? Doesn't look like it. Do the lines cross? No, they don't. So is this a polygon? No, it is not, because it does not have straight lines, three or more straight lines. It's got curved lines in it, so therefore it's not a polygon. All right, so meet the polygon. I'm a triangle. It has three sides and three angles. And this is a quadrilateral. It has four sides and four angles. This is a pentagon. It has five sides and five angles. Sorry about that, as my dog was barking. So this polygon is a pentagon. A pentagon has five sides and five angles. This is a hexagon. It has six sides and six angles. This is an octagon. An octagon has eight sides and eight angles. Now, keep in mind, polygons can transform quite easily. The polygon below is an octagon, just like me, because they both have eight sides and eight angles. You know, we normally look as an octagon as a stop sign, but this is also an octagon because it has eight sides and eight angles. All right, so let's look at, we got to determine the number of sides and angles, then we got to classify each shape. All right. This has how many angles? 4. The polygon has 4 sides. Now, when a polygon has 4 angles and 4 sides, it is called a quadrilateral. All right, so let's look at this one. This polygon has how many angles? 5. This polygon has how many sides? 5. Now remember, when it has 5 angles, 5 sides, it is called a pentagon. All right, this polygon has how many angles? 6. This polygon has how many sides? 6. And this polygon is called a hexagon. All right, let's look at this polygon. This polygon has how many angles? 4. This polygon has how many sides? 4 and 4. It is a quadrilateral. This polygon has how many sides? 8. This polygon has how many sides? 8. Remember, 8-sided polygon is called a octagon. All right, this polygon has how many sides? 5. This polygon has, angles. This polygon has how many sides? 5. 5 and 5, it's going to be called a pentagon. So we got to determine the number of sides on this one. So how many angles and sides do we have on this one? This polygon has 5 angles. This polygon has 5 sides. Therefore, it is called a pentagon. All right, this polygon has how many angles? 8. This polygon has how many sides? 8. This polygon is called a octagon. All right, what type of polygon am I? All right, it's got 4 angles and 4 sides. When a shape has 4 angles and 4 sides, it is called a quadrilateral. Some quadrilaterals like me have sides that are parallel. Now remember, we've talked about parallel lines. When lines are parallel, they run by each other. They never touch, they don't intersect with each other, and they just run side by side, on and on, forever and ever. So here is an example here. This is a line segment because it has 2 endpoints, and the 2 lines here are running by each other, okay? So they are parallel. A quadrilateral with exactly 1 pair of parallel sides is called a trapezoid. Now, here, these lines would just keep going and going and nowhere touch, but if these kept going, they would eventually intersect. So that is called a trapezoid. All right, a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides parallel is called a parallelogram, okay? Because here, they're going to run and they're going to be parallel lines because they're never going to touch. These are going to be parallel lines because they will never touch also. These quadrilaterals are all parallelograms because they have 2 pairs of parallel sides. This is called a rhombus. Rhombus is a parallelogram with 4 equal sides. This one is called a rectangle, and it is a parallelogram with 4 right angles. And then this one is called a square, and it is a parallelogram with 4 equal sides and 4 right angles. Imagine a huge cardboard box filled with only polygons. Okay. Now, one of the boxes you will find inside of the polygon box is a quadrilateral box. All the shapes inside this have 4 sides and 4 angles. These shapes in the box can be classified as both polygons and quadrilaterals. Another box that would be is a parallelogram. And one of the boxes you'll find inside of it, the quadrilateral box, is a parallelogram. All of the shapes inside this box have 2 pairs of parallel sides. This shape in this box can be classified as polygons, quadrilaterals, and parallelograms. One of the boxes you find inside of the parallelogram box is a box filled with rectangles, and all these shapes inside this box have 2 pairs of parallel sides and 4 right angles. These shapes in the box can be classified as polygons, quadrilaterals, parallelograms, and rectangles. Therefore, this figure qualifies as a rectangle, a parallelogram, and a quadrilateral, and a polygon, just from that one shape. In a similar way, a rhombus constitutes a different group of parallelograms. Therefore, a rhombus box would also be found in the parallelogram box. The shapes in this box can be classified as polygons, quadrilaterals, parallelograms, and rhombuses. Therefore, this figure qualifies as a rhombus, a parallelogram, a quadrilateral, and a polygon. Finally, let's talk about squares. A special box of squares could be found in a rhombus box because rhombuses are required to have 4 equal sides, and a square meets this requirement. A special box of squares could also be found in the rectangle box because rectangles are required to have 4 right angles, and a square meets this requirement too. Therefore, this figure qualifies as a square, a rectangle, a rhombus, a parallelogram, a quadrilateral, and a polygon. That one shape. We always just thought it was a square, but it is not. It can also be classified as a rectangle, a rhombus, a parallelogram, quadrilateral, and a polygon. In which of these boxes could a trapezoid belong to? A trapezoid has exactly 1 pair of parallel sides. Therefore, it is not a parallelogram. It is a trapezoid, a quadrilateral, and a polygon. Help this figure complete the form. It says, I'm a quadrilateral because, why is this a quadrilateral? It has 4 sides and 4 angles. Why is this a parallelogram? Both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. I'm a rectangle because I have 4 right angles. Help this figure complete the form. I am a quadrilateral because I have 4 sides and 4 angles. I am a trapezoid because I have exactly 1 pair of parallel sides. I'm a quadrilateral because I have 4 sides and 4 angles. I'm a parallelogram because both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. I am a rhombus because I have 4 equal sides. Help this figure complete the form. I am a quadrilateral because I have 4 sides and 4 angles. I'm a parallelogram because both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. This is a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides and 4 angles. It is a parallelogram because both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. I'm a rhombus because I have 4 equal sides. I have 4 right angles, and that's why they're a rectangle. And I'm a square. I have both 4 right angles and 4 equal sides. All right, so that is our lesson for today, and we will continue with shared attributes. Actually, let's go ahead and go over the shared attributes. An attribute is a characteristic of a figure. I'm going to name an attribute, and I want you to draw a check mark beside the shapes that have that attribute, okay? So look at your packet in class, and then virtual, y'all can just listen. All right. Now, opposite sides are the same length. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in that little packet and check all these that have opposite sides are the same length. Is a trapezoid? No. What about a parallelogram? That is correct. A rectangle? Yes. What about a square? Yes. How about a rhombus? It is. Okay. So this attribute fits all of these except for that one. All right. So it has 4 angles. We need to check mark all the shapes that has 4 right angles. Does this have 4 right angles? No. Oh, sorry, not right angles, just 4 angles. So yes, it is because it has 4 angles. Does this have 4 angles? It does. Does this one have 4 angles? That is correct. Does this have 4 angles? Yes. And does the rhombus have 4 angles? Yes, it does. All right, an attribute. Now here's the 4 right angles. Sorry about that, guys. So remember, right angles, you can put one of those little squares in it. So can you put a square there? Nope. Square here? Nope. What about here? Put a little square there and it's going to fit perfect? Yes, it is. All right, and in the square is going to fit squares. So yes, that is a shared attribute. This is exactly one pair. We need to check mark the item that has exactly one pair of opposite parallel sides. It's trapezoid. That is correct. Parallelogram. Just one of the opposite parallel sides. Right? Sorry about that, guys. All right. Does a parallelogram have one pair of opposite parallel sides? No, it doesn't. Rectangle? Just one pair. It has 2. So therefore that's not a shared attribute. All right. So now we're going to look for 4 sides where 4 sides are the same size. Is it a trapezoid, parallelogram, rectangle, square, or rhombus? A square. It has 4 sides and they are the same size. And a rhombus. So now we're going to look for opposite angles are the same size. Trapezoid, parallelogram, rectangle, square, or rhombus. A parallelogram has opposite angles and they are the same size. A rectangle, square, and a rhombus. All right, and the last one is 4 sides are the same size and 4 right angles. A square. All right, so now we will talk about partitioning shapes when we come back from spring break. So go ahead, if you are in class, you will need to turn in your packet to the substitute, and virtual students, you will be doing, let's do an ed puzzle instead of Edmentum, okay? So if y'all have any questions, I will not be available too much today, but you may email me, but you may also ask the substitute. So I hope y'all have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow.